Strange things are happening. Please watch closely and don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. It's easy to understand how the timing of a fifth season of The Crown that skewered, mocked or reveled in the scandals of the British royals could be awkward only a couple of months after Queen Elizabeth II died and her son became King Charles III. It's easy to understand how it could lead to consternation and complaining, but that's not the version of The Crown that we have. The Crown has always sparked some complaints over the fact that it's not literally accurate in its details. In fact, creator Peter Morgan has always acknowledged that it's an imagined version of what would go on behind the scenes. But with the fifth season, there were renewed condemnations and a call from no less than Dame Judi Dench for Netflix to add a disclaimer to each episode, stating that it's fiction. In particular, former Prime Minister John Major objected to a scene in the first episode of the season in which Charles, now played by Dominic West, comes to Major, played by Johnny Lee Miller, to talk about something sensitive. What he wants to talk about is the idea that his mother has been queen for long enough, and perhaps it's time to think about change in the interests of the country. In other words, he wants Major to explore the possibility of nudging her to step down so that Charles can become king. Keep in mind, this would have happened somewhere around 1991. So he was to wait another 30 years to become king. If he had been trying to speed things up, it didn't work. Major says this meeting never happened, never would have happened or could have happened, and to invent it is malicious. Obviously, given that Charles eventually became king when his mother died, it's awkward to suggest that he was impatient, but his eagerness is framed, at least in part, as an element of a larger interest in modernizing the monarchy, and a concern that by the time he became king, the institution might be damaged. Regardless of this individual scene, the overall tone of The Crown has always been sympathetic, especially to Elizabeth and Prince Philip, whose romance anchored its first season. But in fact to the entire family. They are consistently portrayed as people whose lives are devoted to duty in a way that is largely outside their control, and the close focus on their emotions and motivations takes the attention away from the institutional questions like cost and colonialism that aren't necessarily about whether people are nice or in love with each other. The very act of seeing their feelings as the most important thing about these people flatters